Montana legislature passed the Bipartisan Media Act in 2019. It gives state income tax credits for film productions in Montana up to 35% in total on a base investment.
In 2019, we had a great group of people that we worked with, and the issue that Montana had was a lack of a film incentive. So that's one of the first things a line producer looks at, is if they want to bring a production to a state, in order to be competitive, there needs to be some kind of tax incentive.
When the Media Act sort of kicked in, became functional, one of the first things that happened was that a quite significant production that had been in shooting in Utah picked up everything that they had in Utah and they moved it to Montana.
The goal of the Media Act is to attract more film projects here. That means an economic boost for the state, and it seems to be working. The Montana Film Office shows 117 productions filmed in the state between January of 2019 and June of 2020, with an estimated total impact of $47.6 million.
I hired a ton of construction people. I bought thousands of dollars worth of props and set dressing from folks in Lincoln, in Butte, in Livingston, in Emigrant, in DePuyer, in Browning. I mean, this was really all across Montana. We filmed things this year, towns big and small.
And so I worked on 2 productions that hired tons of locals. We had PAs from Butte. We had grip and camera operators from the state of Montana. It bounced off every single industry in Butte in one way or another.
They're bringing their resources to our small community is really valuable, and it does ripple down. It provided a truck driver with a job, my guy, and provided my crew with work. As the film continues to come to Montana, I feel like there could be a real benefit to my business.
The film industry saved a lot of businesses during COVID-19 with big projects like Yellowstone in Hamilton and Missoula, and 6 major projects in Butte.
The film crew really helped us to really make it through those last few months, helped me to keep my employees, helped me to keep, a lot of staff that I would have had to let go.
Working with Yellowstone TV series with lodgers in the Valley put a huge amount of revenue into the pockets of individuals who own our short-term rentals, as well as the hotels, because 650 people stayed here over the run of the show.
That's just getting things started. And what we really need is permanent sound stages that can support multiple major productions coming to the state. That's truly when we'll see the industry get established here. This is really when this becomes an economic driver for the state.
So I am still riding that wave of busyness from the incentive, and 2021 already is going to be even busier than 2020.
The issue with the cap as it currently exists is that one very significant production, Yellowstone, used almost all of the cap, the tax credits that were available in 2020. They're coming back for another season. They're probably going to do it again. They're going to probably spend more money here. They may take the entire tax credit that's available under the cap.
The critical thing that we're trying to do as part of the Montana Film Coalition is raise the cap. Currently, the tax cap is set by the 2019 Media Act at $10 million. It is a great start. It has attracted some larger productions coming into the state. But we need more. And in order to get more into the state, in order to attract that production, the tax cap has to be raised. Ideally, it needs to be an unlimited tax cap, because what it does is it attracts production to come to the state, knowing that they're not going to miss out on the tax credits if they shoot their project there.
Thank you, 2019 legislature. Great job. Thank you so much for passing a competitive incentive. We've got the industry's attention. They're coming here. They're spending $20, $30, $40 million a year. So please, 2021, let's take the next step. Let's get rid of the cap. Let's show the industry how serious we are. Let's get major investment in infrastructure, more full-time jobs for your constituents. This really is the next step for Montana's economy. So we really appreciate your support.